What's going on, everybody? Caveman Jack back for another album reaction / review, and we are back live from the studio. Yo. Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic week. Now, I have a music festival coming up in April. It's a series of shows that are run around Australia called Groovin' the Moo. One of the main headliners that will be playing at the Groovin' the Moo festival is Alt J. Now, Alt J are an interesting band that I've had dibbled and dabbled into throughout my life, yet never stopped and checked out a full-length project of theirs. I think they're quite quirky, they're unique, their sound is, really nice to listen to from the singles that I have heard. So I thought probably a good idea to sit down, work through a bit of their material, just so I have a better idea when they get on stage. I'm not just like, So today we're going to be checking out their album, An Awesome Wave. I think this may be one of their earlier works. I think it's pretty well recognized from fans of this band. This is An Awesome Wave by Alt J. Okay, a little bit of piano. I'm always happy to hear some piano. Double kick's good.
Three.
Quite a lot of sounds in this intro. Some synths, some guitar, some piano, multiple layers onto the vocals as well. I like when artists have these kind of intros to kind of build up the anticipation for the rest of the project.
She only alpha walks to count her steps. 18 strides and she stops to abide by the law that she herself has set. Don't let me drown, don't breathe alone. No kicks, no pangs, no broken bones. Never let me sink, always feel at home. No sticks, no shanks, and no stones.
I like how this has been quite isolated. It's just multiple vocal layers. Got a bit of harmonies here.
The great world of hearts.
Man, that was some poetry. Here we go. Alright. Here we go. Tessellate. Ooh.
By chunks out of me, you're a shark and I'm swimming. Triangles are my favorite shape.
Hey.
3 points where 2 lines meet. Toe to toe, back to back, let's go. My love, it's very late till morning come. Let's tessellate.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Oh, along my flow and keep my all of you. I'll breathe stones along my love. Chunks of you will sink down to seals, blubber rich in morning.
Yeah, let's all those noise, like a little shaker.
Yes, I know it's a lot of a way, but it's fair to say
I love it.
you will still haunt me till morning comes. Let's tessellate.
Let's go. Man, Tessellate was a beautiful track. I love how patient the delivery was from him the whole time. He's got such a unique voice. If you haven't heard Alt J before, it's quite unique in its sound. His vocals can bring such a character to each of these tracks. He's spitting though. He's got really great line delivery when he like flows over these beats. He says it in such a playful way, but he matches the beat really nicely. He falls into the pockets of space in a manner that's like, okay. I like how there was quite a lot of instrumentation there. So far, it seems we've got quite a lot of layering, quite a lot of sporadic sounds, which are beautiful and not chaotic, quite present, quite calming noises throughout each of these tracks. But yeah, I loved how there was multiple points throughout that track where the song would pause, take a breather, and come back with that beat, and then he'd start flowing again. Really enjoyed Tessellate.
She may contain the urge to run away, but hold her down with soggy clothes.
The Breezeblocks. Now, Breezeblocks is a song I do know. Really simple introduction here. And we slowly start building. And again, his voice becomes such a character throughout this song. The fears grip me, but here I go. Do you know where the walkings go? They go on. Sounds are good, man. Again, we can see such a unique array of sounds on each of these songs. I don't know what lane I would put these random sounds in. She may contain the urge to run away, but hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blocks. Germaline, disinfect the scene, my love, my love. Love, but please don't go. I love you so, my lovely. Yeah, it's good, this part. That opens up a bit here. Please don't go, please don't go. I love you so, I love you so. Hey, please don't go, please don't go. I love you so, I love you so. Please don't go. I need you hold. I love you so. I love you so. Please don't go. I need you hold. I love you so. I love you so, I love you so. Breezeblocks is understandably a very well-loved Alt J song. One thing I really enjoy every time I hear that song is the layers. I think so far I've mentioned it a couple times, but what we can take from this album is the layers are really, really tight. Structuring on these songs is very well done. Song progressively adds instrumentation. It doesn't feel like there's points where it feels overcrowded in a manner that's not like unsettling, but more just to kind of bring scale to the song or scale to the words that he's saying. These songs, they have elements that might give you, oh, well, these sound quite simple in nature. Structurally, they definitely aren't simple. They seem to have so many layers, and even some of the drum tracks, they've got such a richness to the sounds of them. Like the kick and the snare have been really rich in sound. I think it adds a fair bit when your drums don't kind of bottom out and they have a little bit more like hit to them. In simpler terms, the drums sound good. The layering sounds good. His voice sounds good. It's nice, isn't it? Man, so many great instruments in the world. Guitar. And imagine if we didn't have guitars. All these songs that we listen to, a lot of songs use guitar. It would be pretty wild if all of a sudden one day we woke up and there was suddenly no guitars. There's so much life in their drums. Something good. Oh, something good. Oh, something good.
something good.
This song is going from like light to dark sounds,
Something good.
transitioning between the two.
Oh, something good tonight. Make me forget about you for now.
The bass and the piano are combining really nicely. I think the bass adds like a little bit more of like a sinister thing, a sinister feel to that piano as well. It's like a reversed clap.
Get high, hit the floor before you go. Matador, estocada, you're my blood sport.
Great collection of sounds. What I enjoyed was how they dived in and out of hopeful sounds and then dived back into these darker, more introspective thoughts that he was having, seemingly talking about how something good was happening in his life, which made him forget about someone else or something else for now. He knows it's temporary, but for now, something good is happening tonight. I talked about the layering again on that track, but it's quite notable, especially in the instrumental pieces where there's kind of bridges between verses or choruses. They like to layer, and it's really effective because tonally I mentioned that the bass guitar added a little bit more of a sinister feel to the piano. I think Old J do very, very well at trying to convey some of these messages that the songs are about through the instrumentation. This one's a bit more fluffy, a little bit lighter. But then you get that darker synth, which adds a little bit more. It grounds the song a little. Becomes a little less fluffy.
2 tabs on your tongue. I heard the shepherds, I heard the sheep sleep. Now my only one. Broken sweethearts, who sleep apart. Most of mine feel side spines when the sleep shouts.
I like synth lines, very 80s.
To pose, now shush. She makes the sound she makes to calm me down.
That was really good. Breaking it all the way down and then release that synth line again.
That is being got to live 1, 2, 3, 4. She makes the sound.
See, I like how this section here is just really calm, really isolated. The guitar is great.
She makes the sounds he makes. I'm tired now.
Very warm. Another really great track, Dissolve Me. Really enjoyed it. Again, the light and the dark sounds. Another great track by Old J. Oh my gosh. Yo, Matilda. This song, man, this is a throwback. I haven't heard this song in a really long time. Now, before I get into this track, this song, I think I heard this song back when I was in year 8. One of my good friends, came up to me. He said, "Mate, like my dad listens to this song. It's wild. Have a listen." Alt J, I remember his voice. Obviously, it's quite a unique sounding voice. So for me, that was the first time I'd heard that sound. Hearing Alt J for the first time, and I was like, "What the heck?" Beautiful song. I love this song. I'm so excited to be checking it out again. For me, it is a nostalgia hit. I didn't even know this song was on this album. I'm excited. Let's go. This is from Matilda. Oh, how good is that? Shout out to my homie Alex. You know.
Just like Jonathan said, the breath I've taken and the one I must to go on. But
I haven't heard this song in so long.
Understand whose bones. My defeat sleeps top to toe with her success. Oh, this is from Matilda.
How good is that beat, man?
And she needs you. This is from Matilda. And she needs you. This is from Matilda. Just like Jonathan said, the breath I've taken and the one I must to go on. This is from Matilda.
Such a warm song.
And she needs you. This is for Matilda. And she needs you. This is for Matilda.
Slowly building, you can hear the sounds rising.
And she needs you. This is from Matilda. This is from Matilda.
Let's go. I love this track, man. I love it.
This is from Matilda.
Lyrically, it's quite simple, but it's the emotion that he sings.
Matilda.
He sings this song in it. You can feel it. The guitar, the layering. Beautiful instrumentation. Still to this day, man, it's just a nostalgia hit. Brings me back to the first time I heard it. It's a wild how music can do that.
We can lose touch, but we can let go.
Okay.
Doing my God made from
Bit of a bell sample.
Keep your stay clean of me. I feel of you so many times this week. Close eyes, open close, I can't forget to fall asleep.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay.
The dark seeks dark. The dark seeks dark. Ooh, darker. The nights of all my youth pressed into one glass of water.
Oh. That's great, man. That's so good.
Sad to truth, bewildered peaceful.
Man, Groove of the Moon can't come soon enough.
Some things I do default is too well. Close eyes, open close, I can feel as my body spells. Ooh, darker. Ooh, the shadow burns across like canvas dyed paper.
was another great track. I just love this kind of sound. I love these warm sounds. This folky alternative side of music I'm a huge fan of. Probably a disservice to my music taste that I've taken this long to properly sit down and check out a full-length project by Old J, because it is really down that lane that I like. That emotion, that quirkiness, it brings a lot of character, and I think it's a really good storyteller. This band, they tell some great stories, and I can really just fall into these sounds because they're so rich. Whoa. Whoa.
In your snatch, Fitzpleasure, boom, she pleasure.
I don't even know what he just said. Is it like beep, boop, bleep, pleasure?
Deep greedy, googling every corner.
This band is so good at just bringing back the layers, stripping back, and just presenting these warm-ass sounds, man. Really solid, man.
Dead in the middle of the CRAFTSMANSHIP. Little did I know that the man, the voice, become a Dello man.
Man, this song's going in a wild way of directions.
Pleasure, a boom, she pleasure.
Tough song. That synth was great. Those electronic sounds really drove that one. And the intricate lyricism by Old J once again stakes its claim. Damn, that was a tough song. Fitzpleasure, again, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the wild array of sounds. It felt like we were going in very different ways throughout that song. I was trying to stay afloat. I was like, my goodness. But yeah, that dark synth that just drove multiple points of the song was hard hitting. That song would be awesome live. In fact, I'm very, very excited to see any of these songs live just because of how many subtle transitions, subtle switches they have instrumentally throughout the tracks that kind of divert the song in different directions. And again, it can kind of shift your emotion that you're feeling from the song very quickly. Like you can be feeling one thing and the song's overall tone will shift and you'll suddenly feel a different thing. So it's really powerful that they can do that. Dracula-esque sounding synth.
blood-flooded veins. Laps the sea.
Damn, he held that note for ages.
Side in.
Very stripped back this song so far.
Slaps the sea. M-O-N.
Bloodflood was a little bit more of a stripped back piece, quite dark, quite sinister in sound. I liked the subtle instrumentation. Wasn't my favorite song on the album, but I could really appreciate how it was a little bit of a change of pace. But again, the sounds within each track is so warm that you don't feel completely unsettled. Terrible.
China Kappa jumps to 2 feet creep up the road. To photo to record. So very yellow white flash. A violent red Christmas with slight tears lips like grass. But so high from the leak avalanche, mine is a watery pit. From him Taro. I have spread you into my eyes. Oh, the photographic more. 3.1415 alive, no longer my amor. Faded for home at 54.
That was a really beautiful piece. Really beautiful. Great combination of sounds there. Different styles of music, which was awesome. Goes for just over 5 minutes, so you get more of a lengthy stay with this song. Final track on the album, Handmade.
Your stingray for stops my skin, doctor scratch, scratch, now I'm bleeding. There's bears in the world and they're out to get me. And I'm safe from all if I stay in the chalet. And hold me tight and I'll sink in.
An awesome wave. Was an awesome album. That last song there felt quite imperfect, quite vulnerable, which resulted in a candid finishing song for the project. I kind of harped on throughout that album, but that sound is very similar to the type of music that I love. It's something that you can kind of close your eyes and kind of let it just take you to another world. The sounds are so warm, and you can tell that there's quite a lot of craftsmanship in this work. Subtle sounds that actually like extend the emotion that is felt throughout these tracks. Like often I'll hear his vocals and I'll hear a really soft synth playing in the back, or a soft electric kind of just playing off in the distance. Really, really subtle, and you quite often can miss those sounds. The really subtle sounds are not meant to take your focus away from the main drivers of the song, but they're just little things that over time, if you listen, you'll be able to hear, and you can hear how they highlight the tracks. I didn't really think there was a song that I didn't enjoy. I could easily play this front to back. I think it's a great project to play front to back because you're able to be absorbed into the world of an awesome wave. This just makes me more excited to check out Alt J live. I'll have to report back to you guys on how the show goes and how it feels. But yeah, really great project. Really rich, unique sounds. His voice, such a character. I love it. Have you heard this album? If you have, what do you think of it? What's your favorite track? Have you seen Alt J live? Let me know, as I'm expecting to see them in the next couple of weeks. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, I've got a wide range of music on the channel that we listen to. Yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the subscribe button and join the community. If you are a returning viewer, thank you as always for joining me on another album reaction. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Take care, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.
All the nights of all my youth pressed into one glass of water.